How are we getting on today, folks? Today is another nice wet day in August. Well, it's kind of dried up a bit now. Sun is out for a few minutes anyway, but it's week seems to be fairly well broken. So today's video will be kind of a mix mash of stuff. Like, well, for starters anyways, we are going to washing these mowers. Give the tractor a quick wash as well. It's not too bad. But yeah, I want to take them off, so I'm just going to give them a quick wash now. Nothing major. Just wash off that kind of stuff. Doesn't do the paint any favors or anything. So yeah, give them wash off, quick check over, and pull them off. I'd say it'll be slurry. Well, the next job will be at, don't think there'll be any mowing for a day or two, but it looks the weather at the moment anyway, so I will stick this camera somewhere out of the way, we're getting wet, and stick it on time lapse and get these tidied up. There we have it. Mowers washed up. Quick wash the tractor, wasn't bad. So yeah, they do wash up well. Great paint on them. But alright, all that loose stuff that's sitting on top of them, you don't have to clean it off every day really, because if it gets wet and sits in the corners and that, it is really hard on the paint. It's like acid. But yeah, so that's them washed up. Was planning on putting a bit of detergent on, but the nozzle, you have to change the nozzle for detergent, and that seems to be broke. So we'll have to get one of those. But yeah, plenty good enough. Tractor probably has slurry next anyway, so it doesn't need to be too pretty. And first acre day cut again, they'll be nearly just as dirty. So that's them done. I'll probably stick it on while I'm taking them off, and we'll see what other activities we get up to. And the next rainy day job is to wire the cameras, well, to wire the tractor for the mower cameras. So as you can see here, the mower comes with the plug here, little, I don't know what you call it, I suppose a Susie cable to go connect into your tractor. But as you can see, nothing to connect into. We have 7530 is wired first, but never got around to wiring this. Brother was doing a few jobs in 7530 last year, putting camera in the cab and different bits, so he just ended up running the wire out, and he mounted the plug kind of around here. So I will do the same. Do the same here. Got to wire this, mount the plug this side. Hopefully it'll be nice and handy just to run the. Actually, have to run 2 camera wires. Run them back along in there, nice and neat. There is a loom running back in here, and it goes up into the cab here, just in here. So what I'm hoping to do is take up this floor mat a bit here, and I'll be able to see something in here. Pop off this cover, just run my wire straight up, nice and handy, in along here, and my camera monitor's there. Because I don't want to run it from that side of the cab, because if I do, I'll end up having to cross the cab somewhere with it. So it just makes no sense at all. So hopefully it'll just work out nice and handy. I have a camera monitor in it, but it's broke kinda, it's broke off the mount. So I have a new monitor there, so I'm going to wire that in. Whether I make up a bracket along the side here, I'll show to you if I'm going to do it anyways. If I end up doing that, just a nice solid steel bracket, mount the camera to it, to be able to put a phone holder on it and that as well, because I have no right phone holder on it. I used to have one stuck to the glass, but it cost me a screen on a phone before, so that was the end of that. It used to keep falling off. So that is that. As you seen in the last video, it has the 2 cameras there wired in, one each side. Very important to have something. Some more just have the mirrors on the top, but camera is the business. Just once you have your tractors wired up. Should have been done the first year we got them, but we just left the long finger, so that is going to be today's job. Whether I get it done today or not, we'll see. Yeah, like, 'cause as you can see, your front of your mower is here, out there, and you're sitting back there. So what is it? You're probably 4 meters before you can see. If you're pulling out a blind gap, or even just along pulling out on the main road, your tractor's 4 meters out before you can even see. So it's a no-brainer. Now the mirrors, I'm sure too, are fine, but the camera is the business. So that is the plug I'm going to mount on the tractor. Going to make up a little bracket of some sort and mount that here. It'll be out of the way of everything. Just double check my wheel lock. I know, looking at the far side here, I'll have tape through. Make up a little steel bracket, mount that there, so when you're plugging in these 2 boys, you pop this in as well. Run my 2 camera cables out and tuck them in there, cable tie them along. I'll have a few covers taken off, but it should be handy enough. And this is my new monitor. Comes with the bracket and all. They're all nearly the same at this stage. Just your standard 4-pin camera plug there then, and everything we have then, tanker, baler, everything is on them 4-pin plugs. Now ideally, a winter's job again, I'm going to change all the rear cameras to this type plug. That came with the low loader. Real good heavy plug and weatherproof as well. So I'm going to wire that to the back of the tractor there somewhere. I'm going to start, the ideal job would just pull in the 4 main tractors, I suppose, and well, definitely the 2 Fendt and the John Deere, get them done like that. The 2 Dites do be rarely on the tanker or the Fusion or anything like that, so if I have these tractors done, I'll be happy enough. And then again, it's just like a spring type cable, a Susie cable that's on the low loader then for that. Up out of the way, and can take a bit of abuse, because running these light cables out the back of the tractor, smallest little thing, and they're broke, and the wires are so fine. It is a pain to try and join them, and like that, you join them, you crimp them, you solder them, do whatever, and another little nook and they're gone. So I'm going to make a start on this. Everything is soaked wet after washing it and still pissing rain. So I'll make a start here. I'll set you up, show you bits and pieces. It's going to be some slow, old, tedious work, I can imagine. So, but I'll keep you updated as we're going anyways. We are just making up our bracket here. That is the start of it. That's just a little bit of whatever 2mm zinc coated plate, so it shouldn't rust. Just an offcut that's thrown around. So I'll have that drill it out, and use the cone bit, then that bit there, to get it out the full size. It's about 24mm. This bit of stainless was there, it's going to use it, but it's 4mm, and I'll probably end up reddening every drill bit in the place trying to drill it, because I do not have a pillar drill. Yeah, that's it. This is the bracket. I was going putting it on here on one of get over there all the way, you one of these casting bolts, but I was going to put it in here just to keep it in out of the way of the wheel and that here, but I'd have to bring it out to here, and also I just don't want to interfere with them casting bolts. I'm not going to loosen them or nothing. So there is a couple of holes here. I need them 3. They're not being used for anything, they're threaded and all. So I'm going to use this one here, bend this bracket into an L shape now. I have an whatever, it's an M14, M12 or M14, whatever it is. There, bend that into 90 degrees, drill it for that, cut the bracket around, tidy it up. I have Fendt grey there, so I'll put a bit of grey paint on it. How long it'll last, I don't know, but we'll stick a bit on it anyways. And I can run the wire up and in here, then out of the way into the loom, and off we go. And it will be out of the way of the wheel here, I'm 90% sure. But look, if it's a thing, I'll leave a bit of slack for the wire there. If it's a thing I need to move it out here again, I can do. Won't be the end of the world. Just need to change the bracket a bit. But yeah, I just don't want to go loosen these casting bolts or go messing with them. So leave alone what we don't need to touch. So that's the story with that. I'll bend this 90 degrees now where I want it. Will I heat it? Probably not. See how it's bending without heating it, and drill that hole. And we're ready to mount that. Then once I get it mounted on the front and set up, I'll start running the wires, and hopefully it won't take too long.
Getting sprung. We used to dance the night away, hang out the whole next day, laughing, having fun.
Right, there we have our little bracket, nice and simple. It's no factory produce by any means, but 100% I'll bend her into shape again properly. Hopefully it's heavy enough for the job, but should be. All you're doing is pulling the plug out once it doesn't bend with that, and it seems to be good and strong. So we will stick that in and see how it's looking. There we have it. Now for the part that could take half an hour or about 4 hours. getting 2 cables, because you have to remember it's 2 cameras brought up from the cab. Well, it's as easy to run 2 as it is 1, but just to be sure and run the 2 together at the one time, make it simple, and yeah, see how that goes. But yeah, that is that part. Nice and sturdy, good enough. There we have it. Now, it is the next day. Sun is shining, thanks be to God. And so, progress on this job. I had to look at the John Deere again after that. And the original kit that came from Malone's with the camera actually has the 2 cables running out to the front in the one. So I gave Malone's a shout yesterday evening, one of the lads there, and he got me this. So picked him up this morning. So it's the 2 cables all in together. So that is way handier than having to run 2 of them cables, and them cables are a mile too long for what I need. So that's nice short neat cable, so wiring will be a lot tidier. So great to get that. I also got a cover here as well for the front. More goes in there kind of above the conditioner. As you can see, the remains of the last one got pulled off a while back. I was on a tricky spot on a hill, and I may have backed up slightly with the mower down, which I don't do, you shouldn't do, but anyways, I have a funny feeling that's what happened. But anyways, the cover got pulled off and went in the conditioner. So got one of them covers, so I'll stick that on as well. Nice and handy, just pull off that little plate, them bolts along the top, and throw that on. That cover makes a fair difference. Just to stop the seeds and the dust and that blowing up again the front of the tractor. So we'll stick that on as well, and we will stick in this cable. I have covers taken off in here, so I figured out where I'm going to run the cable. Should be nice and straightforward. Run the cable up through here, there's a grommet in there, pull the cable up, bring it out up here somewhere. Haven't figured up yet, but I'll get it inside the cab now anyways. Whether I'll get it fully finished and a new monitor for the camera mount today, I don't know, because I have a feeling we'll have to go up mowing shortly, but I will get this part of it done now anyways, while I've covers off and all that, get the cable ran. So I won't need to take the covers off again, and the worst of the work will be done. Hopefully I'll have enough time to finish today, but if I have the cable ran into the cab itself, that's the big work done. So I'll be happy with that. So I'll stick into running this cable. You might not see much of that because it's going to be a bit slow and tricky, but I will show you the way it's ran afterwards anyways, and see how she's looking. Hopefully she'll all just work out fairly handy now. Well, it should. Kind of have my route planned in across there. It's fairly straightforward. A couple of cable ties. There is pipes and aluminum wires coming out here. So, as I said yesterday or earlier on the video, it should be straightforward. So we'll keep you updated anyways as we go. Now we're making progress. Plug in. I've tucked the plugs in there with a bit of slack. There's weatherproof connections on them, but they are just looped up, pushed in there out of the way. There's no moving parts in there or nothing, so they're out of harm's way. I just ran the wire out along here. I was looking for ways to run it up underneath, but there was no nice clear way, and there is the axle is moving in there. You have these rams for the front links are moving. So I just kept it nice and simple. Will it be seen with the bonnet closed? I am actually not sure. Well, it doesn't matter. It's neat. As you can see here, we have a rust problem. The only fault I have with these Fendts is they just have spots like that where they just rot. Excuse the language. that is the main plate that holds everything on the front here. All your coolers, it starts there, comes out around here, and apparently common problem, they rot. So I was actually in McHale's this morning when I was picking up them bits, and I ordered a new bottom plate. Everything else is fine, everything that bolts onto it is fine, but all your coolant pack, radiators and all that, and actually this strut comes up here and your bonnet hinges are on it, and as you can see, the bonnet was actually got a habit. You probably see when it's opening the bonnet, if I have it on video, had a strap on it. When you were going along the road, the last year or so, the bonnet would pop up, start to open. So put that strap on it, but that is the problem. That is gone red rotten in there. So yeah, new plate ordered. It's about 600 euros or whatever, but it is what it is. So that is a winter job, must be done. Couple of spots like that, bonnet here as well, is flake, just surface rust, but really and truly, see here as well, a couple of bubbles. That tractor needs a full respray. Now is the time to do it. It's people say, "Oh, you're mad. There's no need," but now is the time to save it because it's just surface rust. That's rotten. There isn't no other spot in the tractor that's rusting like that, but paint is chipping off, bubbling up, and give it 2 or 3 years time, it will, panels and stuff like that will be gone too far and you'll have to replace them, no more than the bonnet, and I don't want that to happen. So, will there be a video of this being resprayed, or, now I don't fancy taking on the job myself, but will it get done this winter? Who knows, but hopefully. See, you just have the likes of this here as well, surface rust, them spots. Now is the time to save all that. The likes of that there as well. So, but structurally, like, it's solid as a rock. And the fact that part out there is rotten. It's a bolt off, bolt on part. Doesn't bother me. Overall, like, the tractor is in good shape. Just like that there again. If that's sanded or blasted, I don't know what you do with it. That is all, say, like, you won't even know there was rust there. Needs to be done. So that's one of the jobs on the to-do list for this winter, with about 100 others. I'll run through them someday, make a video of that, all the winter plans, kind of to-do jobs and all that. So, but anyways, back to the wiring. I have that cable ran in along there. When I'm running wires like that, I just find like a loom or a wire or solid pipe or something that's not moving. Run it along, out of the way. I need to put a few cable ties, not tidy that up, and just route that there a bit even better. But ran it down there into the battery box because I want to take up the slack up here. I'll just roll that up. I need the slack that's left over and finished. Put it into a roll, cable tied up out of the way somewhere. Besides having to have a slack cable in the cab or somewhere like that. And actually, I brought the cable up through here. Because there's a little inspection plate there. So when I run that on there, that red cable, I seen that red cable was ran there, so I said, why not run mine there? Look, there probably is a grommet or somewhere else better to do it, but that'll probably involve taking up the floor carpet and all that. That will do just fine for me today. I'm going to run it up here, be in through these covers, up, and stick that there somewhere, and have my two plugs there for now, because I'm fairly sure in this video I won't get the chance to make up my new mount here, because we will be mowing, I'd say, in about an hour and a half. So get all that done, covers back, and I'll leave some slack in here. I can do, ideally, maybe hide these cables again, but for now, that's the way it's going to be done. I have my cable here. My port for the camera is here this side, so I can connect them two up, and I have my second auxiliary is in here. I just need to pop off that cover and pop it out here, run it through the existing camera that's in it for now, and do my mount up there again. So yeah, that is it. Tidy up all this, put my covers back, and I'll be good to go mowing then. Now, here we have covers and all that back on. Cable is invisible coming up across there. That actually is a nice spot for bringing the cable in there, in here, because there's a nice rubber cushion of a seal all the way around, so it just sinks in nicely. Comes up across here. I've left a loop here, slack, and I brought it out here where the strut for the door is. There, it's nice and comfortable there. I want to fasten the cable here some ways or other, get a sticky pad or something and stick it on. I don't want super gluing or anything like that, because when you ever take it off again, it's going to leave a mark on the plastics, and I hate that. Like even drilling plastics, cutting them, butchering them, hate that. That just works grand now for me. So enough slack here, left a good loop as I said. So when I do set up my bracket here for my camera and all that, it'll be bracket, camera, you'll be able to put your baler monitor, phone holder, that kind of stuff on it. So that'll be heaps of slack there. When I do that, I'll be able to bring them cables right there onto it. And I'm not sure with my camera screen if I'm going to have to plug them in and out if I'm going putting a cable, we'll say on the if I have the baler on, if I need to plug them out, or is there 3 or 4 ports in it. But anyway, that isn't a problem either way. That's done. Cable's all invisible, tidied up. Only place you can see the cable is here. I've this grill on here. It's in behind that, you can't be seen, out of harm's way. And then you'll see in here, I brought the slack in here to the battery box and just rolled up the slack, cable tied it up there out of the way, so should not be in the way of anything unless you're going to add something fairly big in there. So even for the battery, taking out the battery and that won't be a problem, won't be in the way. So there you have it, nice and neat. So I suppose I'll fire up my own camera. I need to go out, find this second auxiliary plug now on the cab. It's just in behind the cover, I'm fairly sure, and pop that in, and I'll show you if the camera is working on that one. Now we are in the cab, back in the cab. All my covers back on, as you can see, and I'm going pulling out this old camera. I have decided, because it is just annoying me. I mounted that myself up there, but I only mounted it from one side, and it wasn't able for it, as you can see. I have a kind of a botch up done once or twice as it fell off, because I had a bolt this side for the bracket, so I just ended up cutting the bracket using just hanging up from one side, because I have no bolt this side to match the other bracket. So I'm going to pull that off, have my cover off. This little cover was on here, my wires and that are ran here, and that's the old camera wires. So I'm going to get rid of all that. The monitor's still fine, can be used for something again maybe, but I'm not using it for this job. This is the monitor that came with the mower, and I just spotted that it has 4 wires, so I can wire my front 2 plugs in, or just set in my front 2 plugs, leave them plugged in full time. I'll put them on channel whatever 3 and 4, and then I'll leave 1 and 2, the wires 1 or 2 hanging out, so I can use my back, whatever's on the back, the baler, tank or whatever. So I'll plan is to connect these 2 up, run these in here, up in here, out of the way, do a loop, tidy them up somewhere. There is a nice bit of room there behind that cover. Do that, they'll be out of the way completely. Now I was saying I hate cutting covers and that, but I might need to cut a tiny little slot out of that just to get them wires in. But it will be very harmless what I have to do, and run them in. They'll be out of the way. I'm going to get a bit of flat there open off that 17 bolt, run a bit of flat out here in an L shape, run it across, mount my camera to it solid. I've gone away from the idea of putting the bracket on here, running a bracket out here, because it's going to be in my way. If I have a camera and all that in it, it's in your line of sight. If you're pulling out the head of a road or that, it's just too far up. If this monitor wasn't here, I could drop it down and have it nice and low here, and it wouldn't be as bad, because the John Deere, it's out of your way. But I'm going to put it up here because it's in the way of nothing up here. I could put it back here, but then you're turning very far back to be looking at it. Look, there, that's the way I'm going to do it anyways. Now I know looking here, looking to here and looking there isn't much of a difference, but again, you're blocking the window there, and I do have other monitors and stuff here, so put it here where it was. It wasn't a nice spot for looking at, just the bracket wasn't working out. So I'm going to pull that off. I have my 17-inch spanner here. Pull this off out of the way. I'm going to find a bit of flat there somewhere, a bit of an offcut or something. Doesn't need to be over heavy. I don't know if I have 5mm flat or something there. Be plenty good enough. Bring it out, bend it, just bend it on the vise like I did with the bracket for the front there, and drill my holes and drill holes to match this here and here, and be great, solid job then. And if I ever have to change that monitor again, all I have to do is open the two little small lads at the side here, and switch out the monitor. Nearly all the monitors now come with the same plugs, so it's very easy. Just pick one up. I probably have a spare one there, I'd say, anyway. So we'll do that. Take off this here, get a bit of a bracket made up, and see how she looks then. Now we have our bracket made. Didn't bother filming because it was the same principle as making the other bracket. So whatever that is, yeah, about a 2-inch flat. Hold board to seat this lad in, and the hole there to bolt it onto the tractor. Be only bolt from one side, as I was saying, but it's 100% plenty good enough for what it'll be doing. So now for the finishing touches, throw a shot of paint on it. Nothing special. And let it dry. Put it on, wire up the camera. Should be, it's a pretty quick job this, because it's running the wires and all that kind of crack that takes the time. So doing what I'm doing now is literally taking about half an hour, so, and the job is done then. I hate going away from a job unless I have to. If I have the time then, which I should only take 10 minutes, throw that cover on, and she's good for grass again. Blowing up a serious day, great old breeze, good drying, so a couple of calls coming in for mowing. So we will soon be off at that. So that's nearly it now. I'll just show you a clip when I have the camera in, the bracket in and all that. I'll just show you that, just so it's finished product. But yeah, throw another shot of paint in this, go for tea, and put it together. Now, done and dusted. These two wires came out here nicely. That's where the old wire was. There was a little nook taken out of that for a wire, before I got started, for a wire for a two-way radio or something. The other wires fit in here nice and snug. That's in there. Camera is up. There is our bracket. Nice shiny black bracket. Works out well. There's a, that grommet was missing out up there as well always, but camera covers it. It's fine, no one's taken. So where are we? It's actually a touchscreen camera as well. Yeah, they have it on split screen at the minute. Left hand camera is left and the right hand camera is right. I'll show you better someday. I'm pulling out onto a road or something with it in some other video maybe. But yeah, there you have it. You have heaps of different modes you can have the cameras, and then we'll say when that's on channel 1 and 2 now. So when I put the baler on, or the tanker or the low load or whatever, I can go on 3 or 4 here and just flick the button there and away it goes. Yeah, great job. And it picks up whatever cameras you plug in, it picks that up automatically, so you don't need to go switch over. So when I take off the front mower now, plug in whatever is behind me, the tanker, and switch on the key, it automatically picks up camera number 3. And you can actually have 4 cameras running on it together, which I haven't seen on one of them screens before. So yeah, great job. So next at the job, we're pushing time tight now because it is nice day, nice evening outside now, so need to get mowing. Is this cover on? Hopefully it is a 10-minute job. That's what I'm allowing for it anyways. It gets complicated. Could be a job for another day, but should be fine once it's the right. There we have it, cover on, nice and simple. Just a line of bolts there to off the old one, and bungee cord each side. Then I suppose it just allows for it to flex, but maybe the bungee cord's gone a bit weak. Maybe that's where the other one went. I don't know. I'm going to get 2 shorter ones anyways, and just with more tension, keep it more of a firm pull on it. So that is all. We will leave it at that for today's video. I suppose just a rainy day jobs could be at absolute anything on a rainy day, but that is what we're up to today. Thanks for watching. Any questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will have another video for you next Sunday morning. Cheers for watching.